So last time in Paul Ricard, we made something for a little bit, for it's hard for it to do so because of due to its clock motor Speedway in Paul Ricard circuit as well, and because we're back in for just a little bit ultimate. I got 2.4 million for just a little bit once in credits for a lot of things. Let's get all the way to Fuji International Speedway. Is gonna be taking for all of this one. Because most recently, in some other kinds of terms, in only one condition, back in Autodromo Nazionale di Monza, and because of this, absolutely gonna be tracking for just a little bit once. It's gonna be using a high definition. Let's do for only 2 cars. Now, because of this one, in some kind of Group 5 special, we'll be starting to use with this Porsche 935 K3. And because of this one, we'll absolutely taking for its only one purpose of the lap times themselves. Now we're gonna be using for a manual transmission and about only one time inside of his cockpit view, and we're gonna be inside of this one. And because inside in this vehicle looks like it's not gonna be taking all the way to handle like this, in some terms in the Fuji Motor Speedway setup. And because it looks like this is absolutely taking for a little bit as possible, but not very impossible to do like this. And because of huge amount of corner cuts, we're almost absolutely putting ourselves, as looks like we're going to be using for a PG motorsport mode. And because of this, all of a sudden, you might never able to can't see around for this interior. So if this is absolutely going to be necessary to move all the way around, that can causing to lock up brakes and try to make something a huge understeer, and because turns out it's not gonna be taken for a little bit huge, but to go into the straight we'll be gonna be getting onto this one thing, and not probably gonna be using for a crumbling things as well. It looks like we're just gonna be using for a crumble of that as well, and because this is what absolutely happened for just a little bit. Now, have you just never able to get all the way for all crumblings inside of this vehicle? Now, this is going to be taking for a little bit for this one. And because it looks like we're going to be taking inside, but not in very much as well. So we're going to be doing for a such lap time. We need to cool down for our tires first before we're going to be making onto this strategy. And it is how it's going to be taking a little bit much work. It will be not much very longer as well. Because we have to cool their tires down first before proceeding for the lap times for the very first time. So it looks like we're going to be taking onto the gear 2. Now it looks like we're going to be taking into its second gear. Now before like this one, as it's going to be blasting all the way out here. And some cars like 935 K4 and the Moby Dick wasn't absolutely sounds pretty good anymore, because it sounds silent as well. And because all of a sudden that sounds like an electric car as well. Now let's blast up to 2 minutes and 13 seconds. We started out for a slow miniature and overshot out of here as well. I think this is not very good lap times as well. Let me try again for this one. The bad news is this car won't able to handle so much laps as before in turn 6-7. That was pretty so overshot. I think we're gonna be start braking in the start finish before we're going to be making to this. Not very nice as well. Looks like we're not going to be hitting us to red like this button as before we're going to be making to the strategy into second gear. It looks like we're just going to be taking onto this minimizer until it is blasting all the way around here. And because all of a sudden 2 minutes and 2 seconds, so very slow about for this moment. If this is going to be taking for over 2 minutes, we're going to be start braking in 0.4 seconds ahead of us, and because of this lap time wasn't absolutely pretty such as worst idea. So it looks like we're going to be staying all the way down into its front second gear. So I just might almost overshot over to this one because I just missing absolutely turn late out here for just going to be taking out for a turn 6-7. Started to turn early as well and start turning into the 50 board as well. So it looks like we're going to be hitting to our second gear without losing any lap times as possible. As because of this one, and according to the bad news, 5 seconds behind, this is where I just got crumbled down here for its first time because of due to its strategy we're going to be taking onto the outside. And make sure it's not going to be worse at right here. So it looks like we're going to be taking out for a classic lap times. It's going to be taking for a little bit for very best lap times for the classic like these ones. And because all of a sudden, I can't make it for the most likely fastest lap times, whatever it is. Looks like we're going to be hitting our 4th gear and blasted all the way into its 1 minute and 40 seconds. And it's going to be taking all the way 1 minute and 43.946. And we just absolutely started to stop the train all the way alone to no grip. It's not even possible. It's not very good that I never able to see in around the cockpit view for as well. And because you might able to hard to see in about for in terms of this one as well. So all you have to do is jump out of the vehicle. And we cannot able to do like I guess. Let's gonna be teleport into the garage and see it was. The next one will be gonna be reaching out that I just already have 2.5 million credits. We're just gonna be using for this for literally right now. This is the 935 Moby Dick as well. We're gonna be using for all the way out to this for a manual transmission to get all the way things for a little bit. But things inside of it's currently in the cockpit view for it's just going to be going inside of the view for inside for it's just going to be going inside. Now if this is what then absolutely going to be taking for this going to be braking, it brakes perfectly without screeching the tires off. And because of this only one strategy, and this should be might able to handle about braking distance, should be might going to be doing as well. So looks like we're going to be starting for a 150 board. Before making absolutely one turn and huge amount of corner cuts and 3 seconds of penalty. This has got to be so bad that I might able to use around for this only one strategy. It's not going to be taken for a little bit for very good as well. I think this vehicle wasn't able to handle for against as well. Looks like we're going to be taking for a 200 board. And that's what absolutely what accidents can be. And because of this one strategy, 2 seconds in front of us, and should be might able to take for all the way down into its front. Looks like down to turn 6-7. We're not having for a huge amount of corner cuts as always. It's not going to be taking for this. Only one strategy, 2 seconds in the front of us, and because of due to something kind of just a little bit one. Make sure that I might going to be taking for a fully sizers as well. I might going to be cool down the tires up before we're going to be warm up some lap times as well. And because this is what absolutely happens is going to happen out here, I'm not feeling good about this. And this is going to be taking for a little bit embarrassing to get all the way up here in about for a 1 minute and 43 seconds. And we're about for just going to be trying to beat 1 minute and 43 seconds off the coast. And because of this one strategy, in about for 4 gears time, will be estimated for over 200 miles per hour, and it's going to be taking for literally on time 1 minute and 56. Looks like we're going to be taking on staying away. It looks like we just absolutely made for a huge understeer and made things a huge bad lap as well. Getting a corner cut once again. Maybe let's gonna be braking into start finish first and let go of the brakes and start brake again and let go of the brakes again before turning. So it looks like we're going to be starting up for this a little bit once. 200 start braking outside of the pits. Now looks like we're going to be taking for this even much longer. And going to be taking around for a second gear. And looks like we might going to be taking for a little bit oversteer. We're going to be trying to take on to the 200 board. Maybe this one. We'll absolutely start up the curb, and we're going to be taking up for a first couple of things. 1.3, almost 1.4 seconds behind. It's going to be taking for a little bit as much as we're not going to be losing around for lap times before turning. So if this is not going to be necessary to take all of this blast like these things, I started to forget all about for these things in turn 6-7. We'll be about to take on to this time, start braking. It's turn 6-7 before we just absolutely taking for this only one opportunity for just going to be using for about for second gear to first gear and about for getting all the way up here 2.1 seconds behind around for this one. And because we're going to be doing this properly and we're not making absolutely to do like these perfect, and it's not gonna be taking for all the way perfect things, like or something. It's gonna be taking for, gonna be going all the way up here. And because of this bad lap strategy, it's gonna be taking a little bit off for just an oversteer and blast all the way to under 1 minute and 41 seconds. To beat 1 minute and 43, it's gonna be taking for much, a little bit for a strategy. And 135 and 137, 139.2, and this is absolutely for reaching for under 1 minute and 40 seconds. And that is absolutely pretty it as well. So looks like it has got to be the end of this video for somewhere. So if you enjoy about for this, some kind of group 5 lap times as well, with no engine sounds inside of Porsche 935 engine sounds as well. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe and click that bell. That was gotta be it for something for a 0 cents for just, no sense for just never hearing out for this unbeautiful sound like this moment. So if that is all that I ever tried to get all the case, for just something like it's gonna be replacing the engine sounds into its new opportunity for getting all the way for this one, as not pretty possible as well. So thanks for watching. That which will be Chipper Concept signing off, and unfortunately this is absolutely for Fuji International Speedway, not Clark Motor Speedway, as never able to get possible as well. Over and out.